last two tracks were produced and composed by DJ Avico. Man, great flavor, man. Again, one of the things that really stuck out with me on the first track, Sparkle, again, was the chorus. I mean, strong chorus. Definitely kept it musical, man. I was definitely in love with the arrangement of it, man. And I don't know if DJ Avico had a chance to listen to the first couple episodes I had on the show, man. I was talking about music arrangement, man, and getting everybody understanding what 16 bars, 8 bars for the chorus, 16 bars for the main verse, and then you definitely kept it in pocket with the right formula, man. With everybody's kind of using the standard formula these days, man. So great job there, and great job on the mix, man. Everything was balanced, man, from head to toe. Nice, clean. Everything was audible. Nothing was really screaming out at me. It was being on the level mix, man. So hats off to the mixing engineer who got the mix intact for you, man. That was a great job in that. And again, the second song for the R&B, that was a great song too, man. It can go so many different ways when I hear it, man. It really depends on the artist and where they really could take it. I could hear a female over it. I can hear a group over it. So again, possibilities are endless at this point, man. And shout out to DJ Abico again, man. And for those of you that want to contact him and hear more of his music, he does have a website, man. It's www.isound, I, S as in Sam, O, U, N as in Nancy, D.com/DJ Abico. And that's spelled D-J-A, B as in boy, B as in boy, I-C-O. www.isound.com/DJ Avico. And again, shout out to Best Out Entertainment, man, for shooting DJ Avico our way, man. I definitely appreciate you sending the track, and definitely had a chance to really listen to it on the show, man. We definitely appreciate the music, and if there's anything else that you would like played, definitely don't hesitate to hit me up, man. I will get your tracks on there, and I will play it and discuss it after it's complete. And last week, before I ended the show, I wanted to discuss and get into a little bit of conversation on mixing and engineering your own material. I think being a producer, man, it can get real tricky sometimes, man, if there's a specific mix and definitely a way that you want your stuff to sound when it's complete. I mean, we kind of have it in our head how we want it to sound, but if you're a beginner, I know it gets difficult sometimes, man, to bring it to the audio form and really get it to balance correctly, so it's really hitting hard and wide on all systems other than your own personal studio. So I want to share, kind of some basic guidelines what I use and what I follow to try to get my music mixed the best to my ability and best to my system will allow me to. I believe in really using and pushing the system to the max, man. And a lot of times we, some of us are on a strict budget, what we can and can't afford, and a lot of us don't have a $50,000 budget to invest in, the best equipment out there. And again, if you're beginning, there's really no need for you to have a $50,000 system to mix your stuff on, especially if you're starting out. Because again, ear training and having that ear for mixing, man, it takes time and it takes years to really get a good ear and a really good balanced ear to really mix a lot of stuff. Mixing synth is definitely going to be different than mixing live sound because you're dealing with miking and mic placements and pre's, and we'll get into a little bit of that later in some of the other episodes that I have planned. But just using a basic guideline and just try to mirror your mix the best way you can, so it kind of hits the way that you're listening to your own store commercial CDs that you have. I mean, if you definitely listen like Dr. Dre, the Chronic 2000 was probably, man, one of the hardest hitting CDs I've heard in a long time, man. The way that was just beaten and the subs was just ridiculous, man. And that's a CD I kind of use as a good reference to go to when I'm tailoring my mixes. And again, a lot of it too is I think it's real helpful if you're going to mirror a mix of your own to a commercial CD, try to pick a song that it kind of has the same instruments and same type of drums, and pretty close to the same type of sounds that you're using. Again, because you don't want to mix something that's a hard synth and you're using a lot of pads and a lot of low subs. It's just not going to come out right. Just because the sounds that they're using is mixed for that range, frequency range, and you're using a lot of sounds that aren't in that type of mix or type of CD. So try to get a CD and mirror to the type of sounds, and as best as you can, and try to go from there. And I use a lot of times I use a frequency analyzer on some CDs and tracks that really have a pretty decent mix. I like to see where their frequency band is, and just kind of listen to it and look at it at the same time, really see what things are. And it's really helpful sometimes when the vocals drop out of the mix and the music's just kind of playing by itself, and you can kind of hear it, how it sounds in your system, and see where some of the peaks are, and try to get your system and your mix to match the commercial CD as best as you can, with the tools that you have. And for those of you that would like to contact me for any questions or suggestions, hit me up at spudtooti@gmail.com, and that's spudtooti@gmail.com. And I'm also on MySpace, man. From a MySpace account, hit me up at www.myspace.com/Spud Too Tight. And tune in next week, man. I'm going to finish the discussion for mixing your CDs and mixing levels, and see if I can give you some audible examples of what not to do, and give you some other examples of what to do to mix your CD, just to give you a good reference, again, a good guide, so it's not going to be too unbalanced when you're going from one system to another. And I'll also share with you what type of equipment to use that would be really helpful, that'll give you a pretty balanced mix, and give you some examples that you can use to reference other CDs and match it to your CDs that you currently have in your studio, your own personal tracks versus commercial tracks. See where the hard and loudest parts and low end of the mix, and see if we can try to mirror those frequency bands to your mix as well. So again, I'll share some of those audible examples on the next episode, and we can kind of go through things step by step, and some of the techniques I use to balance my music and to get it as close as I can to a commercially released CD. And for those of you that would like to contact me for any questions or suggestions, hit me up at spudtooti@gmail.com.